Hello Smashers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jansen Smith and I post the best tips, tricks and tutorials or anything else to do with Amazon FBA. So if that's the sort of thing that you're interested in, if that's what you want to learn about, then please do consider subscribing. So today guys, I'm going to be talking a bit about my journey so far and how I've just taken the biggest risk of my life. It's safe to say that I'm bricking it a little bit, I'll be honest. And then I'm going to be relating that all to you and how that can help you on your Amazon FBA journey. So just a bit of background to those of you that are new to the channel. My name is Jansen and I've been selling on Amazon for just over a year now. Since then, since I first launched in September 2018, I've launched 2 products and I'm about to launch my 3rd product. Now my 2nd product launched in February of this year and I've been absolutely blown away by the demand. My first product was pretty successful. That sold out in the first 2 weeks of sales and generated me around £30,000 or £40,000 around Christmas time. But my 2nd product has just blown it out of the water, to be honest. It's been far more successful than I could ever have imagined. I'm really happy with it. I launched it like February or March time of this year, and since then I've been constantly optimizing and trying to improve it, and I've gradually climbed up to page 1 on all of my keywords, which has been absolutely fantastic. Now the sales for that product have just been incredible. It's not even Q4 yet, but the sales for this product have been in line with my first product from Q4. I've been selling like 60 to 70 units a day on average. The other day I did 90 units in one day. So I'm just like absolutely, over the moon at how successful it's been. I've actually been a lot more proactive with this one in terms of trying to get sales from outside of Amazon and trying to promote it outside of Amazon. So I've actually sent it out to a few influencers and I'm hoping that my product's going to be reviewed by a magazine, which is just incredible. But anyway, so how does this relate to risk? Well, I've looked at the level of demand and I've seen that the level of demand outside of peak periods, i.e. in the summer, was really high. So I thought to myself, well, I know that Q4, the 4th quarter of the year, is the busiest because you've got Black Friday and you've got Christmas. So I was looking at my stock levels and I thought there's absolutely no way that my normal stock order is going to last like much throughout the 4th quarter if I just continue ordering the same amount. So I sat down the other week and I calculated how much stock I thought I would need in order to last me all the way through Q4. And the number, to be blunt, was pretty damn high, far higher than any order I've done previously. So I had a long think about it. I weighed up the pros, the cons, the risk, everything, and I decided to go for it. And guys, this is a huge amount of money. It's a huge stock order I've put in. So the amount is, I've ordered 6,000 units. The total cost for all of that came to just under £50,000. It is without a doubt, no doubt whatsoever, this is the biggest investment I've ever made in my life, and it is the biggest risk I've ever taken in my life. Yeah, I am scared, even though I've done the analysis and I've seen from my sales over the last few months that the demand is there and the reviews are amazing, it's pretty much 5 stars. I am still quite, worried about it. I think, a competitor could come along, or Amazon could just ban me for no reason, or prices could plummet, or anything like that. But I decided to go ahead with it because I weighed up all the pros and cons and I thought those are risks that do exist, but I think I've managed the risks quite well. I've got a really good relationship with my supplier who said they're willing to help me if whatever happens. If Amazon just decides to block the listing for whatever reason, they'll be there to support me. I've started to market the product off of Amazon, so I can kind of see that the demand is there outside of Amazon as well. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I feel that I have managed the risks. Now, if my calculations are correct and I sell as many units as I think I will on a daily basis, then I'm looking, or I'm hoping that I will have sold out around Christmas time, so like Christmas Eve, so the perfect time really, because from Christmas onwards till about New Year, sales will be quite low, so that'll give me time to get more stock in. So if I can do that, I will have made a huge amount of profit, probably more profit than I've made this entire year. I've got an 80% return on investment, which to me is just absolutely incredible. For the amount of risk that I'm taking on, an 80% return is just like brilliant, and you're not going to find that, or it's going to be very hard to find that elsewhere. Now guys, an important thing to note here is that yes, I am investing everything I've got, pretty much just shy of £50,000, but those aren't my savings. That's not money that I have already. That's money that I've generated from my Amazon FBA business over the past year. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, or if you've forgotten when I mentioned it before, my first stock order was around £3,500. So that was just over a year ago. In that time, I've managed to build up a cash pile of just over £50,000. So this is why I'm particularly nervous here, because I am using all of the profits from the past year and I'm investing it in this second product, as well as my first product and my third product, but primarily in my second product here. And that's why I'm nervous, because it's basically all of the last year's worth of profits. But as I've mentioned, I've done the research, I've done the analysis, and I'm pretty confident, I'm pretty hopeful that all that work will pay off. Now, how does this relate to you guys? Well, I wanted to basically talk to you guys that are doing your product research and you're struggling. It's something that I see quite a lot in the Amazon FBA Smashers group, or with my students on the Smashers course. A lot of people do their product research and they find products, and then they'll stop at the last minute and they'll go, no, I've just identified a new risk, or I've just found this out, I'm pulling out, I don't want to do that product, I'm going to carry on with my product research. Now, if you're in the Smashers course or the Smashers Facebook group, or if you're just watching this video, then do you know what you are? You're the same as me. You're an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs, by definition, I have actually got the definition here, are people that create businesses, they're looking for profits, that do that in exchange for risk, financial risk. And Amazon FBA, guys, is no different. No matter where you are in your journey, whether you're like me and you've already got products up and running, or whether you are just starting out, or whether you've been selling for years and years, you're still going to face risks. There's still going to be uncertainties. There's nothing you can do about that. What you can do is do as much research as possible to try and minimize and just like manage those risks. Now, investing in Amazon FBA is just like investing in anything else. Just think about it. If you're looking to buy a house, for example, there's a risk that the value of the house might fall. So what do? Well, you do your research. You make sure that you look at like other houses in the area, and you get like a survey done to put your mind at ease and to basically manage and mitigate those risks. And with Amazon FBA, it's no different. When you're doing your product research and you find a product, you need to expect that like it's absolutely like obvious that there are going to be risks. But what is important is that you do the work, you do your homework, and you learn about all those risks, you manage them, and then at the end of the day, guys, you're going to have to accept that there are going to be risks that you just can't get rid of. There's always going to be a risk that the product might just suddenly fall out of popularity, or that a new seller comes on board, or that prices fall. What is important is that you manage those risks. So to protect yourself, you need to make sure that your profit margins are high enough. That's why I always say, make sure that your profit margins are at least 30%. So in the event that you can't sell them, you've got protection that you can lower the price close to cost price, and you can then sell them, break even, learn from your mistakes, maybe if the product was no good or anything like that, learn from it and move on. I see so many people finding amazing products, brilliant products, and then they're just about to order, and then they just suddenly back out because they think, you know, I found out something about this product and I just don't want to do it anymore, it's too risky or anything like that. And that's when I think it's a great shame, because honestly, you're never going to find a product that is just zero risk. It's just not going to happen. Like, look at me. I've been selling this second product now for like 6 months or whatever. I'm confident it'll do well. I've seen the reviews from customers. I've got a great relationship with my supplier. But of course, I'm still terrified that this huge order that I've just placed is going to go wrong. That is just the nature of selling online or having a business and being an entrepreneur. You need to be comfortable and accepting that there are going to be risks. So the one thing that I want you guys to take home from this video is don't be scared of risk. Look at me, I'm taking on the biggest risk of my life, but I've done my homework. I feel that I've managed them all. I feel that I'm aware of all the risks that could happen, and I'm happy to take that on. So what I'd say, guys, is keep that in mind when you're doing your product research. Just accept that there's going to be risk. When you do come across them, think about, you know, kind of what the trade-off is between the amount of reward and the amount of risk that you're taking on. Yes, obviously, if you're taking a huge risk, like you think, oh, the product might be patented, but the reward is high, but don't do that. But, you know, if there's risks where you think, oh, what happens if a competitor comes, or what happens if the price falls down? Well, you need to manage those risks, because I can promise you, you're not going to find a product that just has none whatsoever. So hopefully this video has put those of you that are doing your product research, hopefully it's put your minds at ease. Remember, I've been selling for a year now. I know loads of other sellers that have been selling for years and years as well, and they face the same fears that we do. There's always going to be risks as an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur you need to be accepting of those. But remember, guys, when you take on risk, you also take on reward. So don't forget that. Remember, I'm looking at selling out hopefully by Christmas, and hopefully it's going to be an amazing Christmas for me, and that could well be you next year. So that is it for this week, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and of course I will see you next week.